Good morning. I'm allowing everyone's audio to connect here before we begin. We're going to go ahead and start. It looks like everyone's connected. Good morning and welcome to the Super Bowl 56 Business Connect Workshop. My name is Alejandra Orozco, Small Business Senior Program Coordinator at the LA Area Chamber of Commerce and the lead for OneLA. A few housekeeping rules before we begin. Everyone will be kept on mute to prevent any background noise. So we ask that you please use a chat box to ask all of your questions during the Q&A segment, which will be held towards the end. This session is being recorded and will be shared with everyone that registered here today. Now, I'd like to also talk to you a little bit about OneLA, which is the program, like I mentioned, that I am the lead for. And OneLA Regional Collaborative is a new regional procurement initiative to support local and diverse businesses by providing access to all contract opportunities in one centralized marketplace. Our program is divided into 4 pillars: training, advising, matchmaking, and relationship building, and easy certification. The training is a cohort style training developed and implemented with the support of federal small business technical assistance programs and input by public agencies and community partners. The cohort itself is comprised of 3 phases. Phase 1 has specialized training for writing your company capability statement, attaining certifications, all the way to finding and bidding for contracts. Phase 2 and 3 is more of a one-on-one consultation. We have a team of people constantly looking for bids best suited for your business, and we help you with the bidding process. Our first cohort started during the pandemic, believe it or not, in May of this year, with a total of 70 students, and 20 of them actually moved forward into phase 2 and 3. And we have thus far won a total of 9 awards, amounting to a total of $4 million. And like I mentioned, we also have advising, personalized one-on-one advising. It's an advisory service to small, diverse businesses through the collaborative network of chamber, public agencies, and technical assistance programs. We have matchmaking and relationship building. We have a training session, which is held once a month, and we basically connect you with agencies, primes, business owners, and provide a lot of technical assistance through effective matchmaking and relationship building opportunities. And we at the LA Area Chamber of Commerce, OneLA program, are thrilled to have representatives from the Super Bowl 56 Business Connect program join us today. Business Connect links local, diverse, and experienced businesses with contracting opportunities related to the Super Bowl coming to LA in February of 2022. Here to speak about Business Connect and the opportunities it will bring is Kathryn Schloessman, and I'm so sorry if I said it incorrectly, President and CEO of the Los Angeles Sports and Entertainment Commission. Welcome, Kathy.
Thank you, Alejandra, and thank you all for having us today. We are really excited to kick off our program today with you. But before we do, I'd like to give you a little background on our organization and the Super Bowl host committee. The Los Angeles Sports and Entertainment Commission is the official organization for the city of LA to bid on and secure high-profile sporting and entertainment events. In addition to bidding on these major events, our organization, the commission, is responsible for fulfilling all the bid requirements for the Super Bowl as the official Los Angeles Super Bowl host committee. Our Super Bowl host committee is chaired by Casey Wasserman, the same man responsible for bringing the 2028 Olympics to Los Angeles. And our partners are the Los Angeles Rams and SoFi Stadium. The host committee is responsible for helping to plan, organize, and support all the activities which will enhance the Super Bowl experience in our city. These events, the Super Bowl in 2022, the college football playoff, which we have coming in 2023, the US Open, which we have coming in 2023, and hopefully the World Cup in 2026. All of these events are very important to us because they bring economic impact, they bring social and community impact, and they bring media visibility to our city as a tourism destination. These events were very important before COVID hit, but now with our tourism industry and our hospitality industry hit so hard, job force recovery and workforce development are top of mind for everyone. Success for our organization and for our city is not just winning the bids and hosting these events. Success is making sure these events make an impact leading up to the event, during the event, and most importantly, they need to leave a lasting legacy in our city. Our host committee wants to use the incredible spotlight that the Super Bowl brings to create opportunities for our local businesses and individuals, for you. We want to start with the NFL Business Connect program, since this is an established program with a successful history and an infrastructure in place. Since this program is a top priority for us, we wanted to make sure that you knew about it and all of the other exciting events we're bringing to Los Angeles. And now let me introduce the woman who started this all. She was the first director of community relations for the Carolina Panthers and has been a tremendous leader with the NFL. Please welcome the head of Business Connect for the NFL, BJ Waymer.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much, Kathy, for that great introduction. We appreciate everyone's interest in joining this webinar today and the interest that you're showing in the Super Bowl 56 program. This information session is really designed for suppliers who are interested in becoming subcontractors for Super Bowl 56. And I was asked to share with you some information about the Business Connect program, what our criteria is, et cetera. So I'd like to introduce Business Connect to you now. We are the National Football League's supplier diversity program. Our job is to identify local diverse suppliers in Super Bowl markets and connect those suppliers to contract opportunities. You know, one of the things that is particularly important to us is that we identify certified companies who have the experience to be event ready when they apply for Super Bowl. Our team, the Business Connect team, is your advocate throughout this process. You know, we will work with NFL vendors to identify all available contract opportunities available during Super Bowl and create an opportunity to bring those contracts to the marketplace to bid with local diverse suppliers. Our work is to prepare and to position all local suppliers who are eligible to compete for Super Bowl 56 contracts. And we do that through a platform of professional development and networking opportunities. And should you be accepted into the program, we'll explain all of those professional development opportunities to you as a part of the program. But for today's purposes, I really want to talk to you about how Business Connect is a competitive program. We have a criteria that every company applying to the program must meet. If I could get the next slide, please. This criteria is designed to ensure that everyone accepted into the program can be successful. So we ask that every company who applies to the Business Connect program in Los Angeles be 51% owned, minority, woman, LGBTQ+, or veteran-owned company. We also ask that you are certified in one of those 4 categories. If you're not certified, apply, and we will help you get through that certification process before Super Bowl. We also require that you have an office in operation in Los Angeles County since February 2018. The reason we say February 18 is we need to be sure that every company that applies has been in business long enough to understand their services, to make some mistakes, because everyone does, but then to learn how to correct those errors so that, again, they are event ready for Super Bowl. We ask that if you apply, that you look at the list of goods and services that we require and that your services and products match that list. You must be the direct source of all products and services that you are going to bid on. And also that your company be in good standing and be eligible to do business in the city or county of Los Angeles, the city of Inglewood, which is the home of SoFi Stadium, and of course, the state of California. And we vet for all of these criteria as we are allowing suppliers into the program. Next slide, please. As I've mentioned, Business Connect is the special event production supplier or resource guide for the NFL vendors. You'll see on this list all of the special event production business disciplines that our NFL vendors request of us from year to year. I can point out a couple of things like catering. It says food and beverage. Under catering, we're looking for companies that can provide us with box lunches for workers, hot crew feeds, green room snacks, grab and go meals for our volunteers, a wide range of food and beverage services. If you look at staffing, it says specifically hospitality staffing. We are looking for a workforce, everything from people who can help us with wayfinding and directions, greeters at events, day labor, that folks who can help us hang signage. So it's a wide range of staffing needs that we have, including white glove staffing. If you are a medical staffing company or an IT staffing company, we don't have opportunities for you under Business Connect. So that is why we specifically said hospitality staffing. And when we get to transportation, I know there are a lot of companies that do black car service and limousines. While we use some of those things, what we're really looking for in LA is we're looking for 54 to 55 seat buses that are under 10 years old and in immaculate condition. So those are just some of the examples. And as you get involved with the program, of course, we'll share more details about every one of these categories. But let's talk a little bit about working with NFL vendors. Next slide, please. NFL vendors have a little bit of a different process than perhaps a state or county procurement process might have. When you work with an NFL vendor, it is vendor driven, our procurement system is. So there will not be a list of available contracts. The NFL vendors will reach out to you directly if they are interested in your services. But I can share a couple of tips with you about working with NFL vendors. And I think the first and most important tip is to put your cell phone number on everything, on your business cards, your emails, your website, every response you make, whether it's on your phone or on your computer, always make sure that your cell phone is there. And the reason we ask for that is because NFL vendors work really odd hours. You know, they may get stuck in an airport for an hour and a half and decide this is a great time to make a couple of supplier calls. So what you want to do is make sure that for every time they see your name, they also see your cell phone, so that if they make a call to you at 9:30 on a Friday night or 10 a.m. on a Saturday morning, you don't have to worry about that call rolling over to your office number and you're busy on Monday, so you don't see your calls. If it's on your cell phone, you'll see it and you'll be able to respond more quickly. And responding quickly is important when you're talking about NFL vendors. And it's important because if it takes you 4 or 5 days to respond, there's a likelihood that that contract has already been awarded to someone else. So even if you get a call at Friday night at 9:30, you know, if you just text them back or send them an email that says, I got your, you know, I got that message you sent me. It may be a day or two before I have the information, but I will get back to you. Just that communication helps them understand that you're interested in the work. Another tip for you might be to know your capabilities. It is critically important that you understand what your capacity to do business is. You know, we want to make sure that you bid on contracts that you can be successful for. There will be companies in the process that will get 2 or 3 bids or contracts. Let us help you advocate through that. It's fine if you get 2 or 3 contracts, as long as you have the capacity to do that work and fulfill the contract. So talking through all of those contracts is really important. I might also caution you to bid fairly. You know, a lot of our NFL vendors either work in or are based in LA. They work events other than Super Bowl. And we want to make sure that the bids that you put in, should you be allowed in the program, that your bids are fair, because we understand what pricing is in LA, and we want to make sure that every bid is a fair bid. That does not mean that you should undercut your services. We want you to make a profit. We want you to have a good experience with the Business Connect program and any work that you might get with Super Bowl. But again, it is all contingent on fair bidding. This tip about us helping position you and your company for success, I think, is the cornerstone of the Business Connect program. You know, we will work as your advocate. So the more we get to know you through the program, the better. You'll hear us say over and over again that if you are invited to an event, whether it is one of our professional development events, a networking event, or if we call or reach out to you, we ask that you respond and participate, because the more we know about you and your business, the better we can serve you and connect you to the NFL vendors that are looking for subcontractors. And my favorite on this slide is under promise and over deliver. You know, it's really important that you let a contractor know exactly what it is that you can do for them and what services or products you can provide for them as they are trying to bring Super Bowl to life. We do not want anyone to over deliver, because that sets an expectation that if you can't fulfill it, then that's a problem. But if you say, yes, I can do A, B, C, and D, and then as you work through the contract, you can say, yeah, I can also do this, I can also do that, and I can also do the other. That is under promising and over delivering, and that's what really is the mantra of the Business Connect program. Next slide, let's talk about the Business Connect team. There will be 4 advocates on the Business Connect team that are in place to support you and provide services for you should you make it into the Business Connect program. Allison DeGroot is our contact at the National Football League. David Waymer, who is on this call, is our supplier specialist. And then we have Chincie Mouton, who you will meet shortly. Chincie will be the lead at the Los Angeles Business Connect program. And I get to introduce you to Chincie, and I'm excited about that. Chincie is the perfect person to lead the Business Connect program in LA. And I say that because she's worked in community engagement for the last 8 years. 4 of those years are what we call big sports. She's worked with the national championship game. She's worked in the men's Final Four. Chincie's also led the local Business Connect program in Atlanta at Super Bowl 53. And as we worked with her in that program, what we understood from working with her is that she is a great advocate for Business Connect suppliers. And it is my honor to introduce Chincie to you now. I have great faith that we're going to have an amazing program in Los Angeles and look forward to working with Chincie again and with working with all of you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, BJ. Always a pleasure presenting with you, and I look forward to getting to know all of you suppliers. I'm happy to join you here today. This portion of the presentation is to really walk you through the supplier application process. So if we can pull up the screen here, slides. Perfect. So the first step is to really visit our website, lascc.net/businessconnect. From there, you can see our program objectives, eligibility requirements, and then also visit our FAQ section. Once you get a good sense of the program, then you can click on the application button to get started with the application process. Next slide. So the first thing you'll do is read through the registration process, which really outlines, the 5-step criteria of how we'll begin our vetting process. So once you've applied, a total of 250 suppliers will be selected for inclusion in the program. All businesses will be vetted by the NFL and the Los Angeles Super Bowl host committee. Once we make a decision, we will notify all businesses by February 15th, whether they are accepted or not accepted into the program. Suppliers that are accepted into the program are then put in what is called the Business Connect Resource Guide. This is the directory that the NFL vendors use to identify local suppliers that have been vetted that can provide products or services related to the Super Bowl. So once you read through that section, then you'll click on the acknowledgement box so that then you can begin the general overview section. Next slide. So in the general overview section, this is where you list basic company information, your legal company name, what you're doing business as, your contact information, including your email address, cell phone number, and also your company address. It's very important for you to list your company address because, again, all businesses must be located in Los Angeles County. We also ask that you list what year you were established and provide a company profile that lists 4 to 5 sentences that really outlines your experience in large-scale sporting events or events in general. We also ask for the number of employees and then also your tax ID number. Next slide. And under the company ownership portion, this is where you would list your ethnicity of the 51% company owner. We also ask for you to list your classification, whether you are a minority business, a woman-owned business, LGBTQ+, or veteran-owned. If you are more than one certification, we ask that you list both. So if you were a minority woman business owner, you would check both of those boxes. Under the company eligibility section, this is where you acknowledge the criteria of the program, that you meet the criteria of the program. And then we also ask that you upload your business certification. So you'll see a section there that tells you some of the pre-approved certification agencies that we work with. If you do not see an agency that's listed there and you've been certified with a local government agency or a national organization, you can list that organization under the other section and then upload your proof of business certification using that button there, add files. If the button gives you a little bit of trouble and you cannot upload your certification through the application, you can also email it to me directly at businessconnect@lasec.us. And then this next portion here is where you would list your respective business discipline. So there's a drop-down menu, and this is where you select just one discipline. The reason that we ask for you to select just one is because we only list you under one discipline under the Business Connect resource guide. Under the company profile section, that's where you can list other services that you provide, but really we want to know what is your specialty, because that's what draws NFL vendors towards you. We also ask that you list 3 client references. So this could be past clients or current clients or a combination of the two. We ask that that your references know you well, because these are who we will contact when looking to identify you or approve you for the program. So make sure that they can speak to your experience and your capabilities. And then we also want to know how you heard about the program. Did you hear about us via radio, through the LA Chamber, or any other organization? If you have, we ask that you list it there, and then also acknowledge the Business Connect disclosure. And so here, this is where we let you know that not all businesses that are accepted into the program walk away with a contract. That's very important for you to know, because we want you to realize that this is indeed a competitive program. All businesses that are selected will, however, walk away with professional development and networking opportunities that put you in a better position for business, not only with the Super Bowl, but beyond the Super Bowl. So once you've looked at the disclosure, if you can go back to the slide, please. Once you've looked at the disclosure, we ask that you go back to your application, review all the material, make sure that the information is accurate and correct, and then you can submit your application. And next slide is for key dates. We opened the application on October 27th, and we'll close the application on February 1st. And again, all applicants will be notified whether approved or not approved for the program on February 15th. This is our contact information. If you go to our website, you could go to the FAQ section, because that lists a lot of key frequently asked questions over the years, and you'll get a better sense of the program there. And if we can't answer your question here today, please feel free to email me at businessconnect@lasec.us. And now I'll hand it back to Alejandra for the Q&A segment.
Thank you so much, ladies, for being on here and providing everyone with great information. Now, we have a lot of questions in the chat, and we also have everyone trying to provide their information to you to, hopefully create some exposure already. And so let me start off with the presentation. Everybody here wants to know if they're going to get a copy of this presentation. I want to make sure that I ask before I do send it out. So Chincie, please let me know if we're allowed to.
Absolutely. This presentation has been recorded, so please feel free to share with anyone that registered for the event today.
Yeah. So I will be sharing out the presentation, and I will also share out the recording so that you have that just in case there's anything on here that you missed. One of the questions on here is the link for the application. They wanted to know if we can add it in the chat here. Chincie, please let me know if you have that.
Yes, I can do that. I can add it for everyone.
One of the things that a few people on here notice is that in the application, they're unable to select multiple business disciplines. Could you please share about that? How can they go ahead and do that, select a few?
So as mentioned in the presentation, we ask that you only select one discipline, one specialty, because that is how you will be listed in the Business Connect resource guide. And really NFL vendors, when they're vetting businesses and looking for a supplier, they want to know if that person can really deliver in that one special area. You also have the opportunity to list different services that you provide under the company profile section, where we ask for 4 to 5 sentences related to your events experience. So you can definitely list your services there. We'll also view your services when we visit your website. But again, we want to know what your specialty is. So that's why we only allow for one discipline. BJ, did you want to add to that?
There. I'll jump in with a funny story. You know, we have had suppliers list that they are caterers, they own porta-johns, and they have trucks. You know, those things don't work for us. You know, we need to know that you specialize in one thing. If that one thing is catering, then we will understand from your profile, from your website, from our conversations with you, the breadth of what you can do under that food and beverage or catering title. You know, if you are a general contractor, you don't need to be listed as a painter or someone who builds walls or someone, you know, in those categories. So know that we will do our homework and you have an opportunity to explain the breadth of your company in your profile. And it's very important that you write or craft that profile thoughtfully, because if you are accepted into the Business Connect program, exactly what you wrote is going to be exactly what we include into the guide. So we want to make sure that you represent yourself well in that process.
Thank you for that, BJ. And I'm not really sure what the question was because I lost internet there, but I am back. So the next question, and I hope this wasn't already asked, but a lot of people want to know, are there any needs for marketing or advertising communications?
There really are not. You know, the NFL comes with an entire staff of people who do our marketing and our advertising. And so we don't accept those business lines into Business Connect because we don't have an opportunity to find those folks a contract. And we only really want to let businesses into the Business Connect program who we know we have a good shot at finding a job for them.
And I know that you already listed a lot of these services, but I keep getting asked, are there needs for janitorial and COVID cleaning services?
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. We especially now in the era we are living in, if you have PPE services that you offer and you are a traditional janitorial service, please make sure that the first line of your profile says that you offer PPE services and detail them for us, because we want to be able to go through all the profiles, pick those folks out, and then we'll send a special announcement to all of the NFL vendors that we have PPE services available in the Los Angeles market.
And a lot of people here want to also ensure the list that you provided, is that the only thing that you need, or is there something that else that wasn't mentioned on there by any chance?
No, those are the needs at this point that have been identified by the NFL contractors. We don't make up the list. What we do is query our contractors and ask them, what services are you going to need in this market? And traditionally at Super Bowl, it goes anywhere from 30 to 35 different services. You know, in Minnesota, we needed heat lamps. We're not going to need that in LA. So we took that off the list. But everything that you see on that list are services we know that our contractors will be looking for.
And let's just say that someone already filled out their application and they submitted it. Is there a way to go back and edit anything that they may have, learned, new on here today, or that they might want to edit?
Yeah, my advice for them would be to email me directly. We cannot go back into the application and change things. Once you submit, that's the information that comes in on the back end. So if you do have any changes or revisions, I ask that you email them to me directly at businessconnect@lasec.us.
And I know that a lot of you are barely joining us. Again, I'd like to remind everyone that we are recording the session. I will go ahead and share it out with everyone here. And I will also share out the presentation so that you have that just in case you didn't get a chance to write down Chincie's, for example, her contact information or the link to the application. Another question here. Would love to know if there will be any opportunity to work as a consultant for any food vendors that you might have.
We don't really need consultants for food. All of the NFL vendors that hire food services, they have event planners and full staffs of people who are designing menus or, working with the different caterers and restaurants to make sure that the exact food that fits that event is brought in.
And what about another category that I'm being asked about, shipping, receiving logistics, anything like that you might have a need for?
We have a very small need for trucking. There are one or two companies that need to transport materials, say from the FedEx hub down to the headquarters hotel. So we do need one or two of those. And I think those folks can apply under transportation.
Thank you. And for the certifications that they may, or you may require, is there a list of certifications that maybe they can look at in the website?
So the website does outline the certifications that we accept. Again, if you don't see your particular agency listed there, if you are certified with a local government agency, that works. If you're certified with a national organization, that works. We just need to verify that you are indeed a 51% owner that is minority, woman, LGBTQ+, or veteran owned.
Thank you, Chincie. And I have someone here asking about promotional products and merchandise. Are you looking for a vendor, or will it be automatically taken care of by companies already contracted through the NFL?
So we do have a category for gifts and promotions. So that would fall under that category.
Yeah, and I'll qualify that by just letting folks know that anything that is produced with a NFL shield on it or any markings that are related to the Super Bowl have to be produced by a company that is licensed to do that production. And if they are, say, a signage company or Signage Works, they're a signage company, and they get asked to produce something with a Lombardi trophy on it or the NFL shield, they should make sure that the company they are working with, who has made that request of them, is an official NFL vendor, and they can check with both Chincie and myself to assure that. And if they are still uncertain about anything at all, they should get it in writing that they have permission to produce that material.
Thank you, BJ. And someone is asking about certification here. Is the City of Los Angeles WBE certification acceptable?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, thank you, Chincie. And someone else on here marked, we are a nonprofit, 100% minority certified social enterprise through Los Angeles County. Does this qualify as a certified small business?
It does not, and they probably should talk directly to Chincie, have a conversation with her. We typically do not bring nonprofits into the Business Connect program because they have an ability to get funding and business from the community, which is something that a local diverse business would not have access to. And we want to make sure that we're fair to everyone in the process.
Thank you, BJ. And what type of work, it sounds like you have a category for general contractors. What type of work is usually requested of general contractors?
That it's a wide, it depends on what the event is, but it is also very wide open. It's anything from going into a theater and building a stage on top of all the seats, which I've seen done. Working in the stadium to build out a larger area for your media teams to come in and sit. It could be making sure that there, every building is accessible, so it's a wide range. And if you go ahead and put your application in and your profile in, the specific NFL vendors who use general contracting, they'll reach out to you and explain to you what the scope of work is that they're working on.
And what about in the entertainment services? What specifically is needed there?
Wide open. We need everything from girls who can hang from silks and pour champagne to, DJs and masters of ceremonies, you name it. If it entertains people, our folks are probably looking for it. We do ask that, you list what your entertainment services are so that we can look, and we need to understand that you are only doing business as that company, not a spinoff of a company.
So you mentioned, Chincie, that this is a competition here. It's very competitive. So people here want to know, do you have any pointers? Like, the more certifications you have, the higher the chance you get of being one of the top 250?
No, it's not based off the number of certifications. It's based off your capabilities and experience and your ability to deliver, right? So throughout the vetting process, again, we're looking at what experience that you have that's related to large scale events, right? So if you have examples of work that you've done prior to the Super Bowl, then we're looking at that, because that's your experience is what's most important, right? The number of employees that you have, that's also important, because we want to know that you are indeed doing the work, that you're not subcontracting the work. So it's not based off the number of certifications. If you have one certification, that is plenty.
But in your profile, I might add, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step on you there, Chincie. No. But in your profile, it's important to let us know if you've done work with a sports team, or you work with the convention center, or you work with a local festival, something that shows that you have what we call big event experience. It is not a disqualifier if you don't have that experience. But if we know that, that helps us to understand what your capabilities are to scale up for things the size of Super Bowl. Because honestly, there are not a lot of small events at Super Bowl. They're all fairly large in scope.
And this would maybe be for either you, BJ, or Chincie. A lot of the small businesses that we've worked with usually have a lot of those capabilities, but don't have it written out. Is there something that you recommend for them to get better prepared, or do you have any services or programs that help them get better prepared to present to you?
Golly, that's hard, because a lot of the professional development that the workshops that we produce for the suppliers will help them to sharpen those skills. I think in terms of what you want to present to us is make sure that your website is clean, that it talks to the service that you provide. Look at your Facebook posts. If it is a professional Facebook account, or a professional Twitter account, or a professional LinkedIn account, make sure that it is in fact professional. While we'd love to see pictures of your beautiful children's faces, that doesn't help us understand what you do for a living. As clearly and concisely as you can tell us what you do, what your experiences are, that's That's the best case scenario. But I also must warn, do not be afraid of the shield. Not every company that comes to us is going to be asked to run an event by themselves. There's something called NFL Tailgate, which is a party for 7,000 to 10,000 people. And we bring in 40 to 50 restaurants and caterers to provide food. So you'll be asked to do maybe 700 pieces of something or 1,500 pieces of something else, but you won't be catering the event by yourself. Even the general contractors, you won't be asked to work on your own. The NFL has teams of experts that we bring in, and our vendors are looking for the opportunity to work with men and women who they have not previously worked with, to help them grow their businesses and their expertise and their skill sets, and to be a part of our team. And that's what this is all about, creating a team that can build Super Bowl that is exciting for the LA fans.
And can you share a little bit about subcontracting? I know that this is for contracts, but if they don't make it, they're going to go into a Rolodex. That's what I understand. How does that part work?
Do you want me to take that, Chincie?
You can.
Yeah, we call our Business Connect members suppliers. What they are in reality is they are the subcontractors for the building of, or the creation and production of Super Bowl 56. They are in fact subcontractors, but we would prefer that they not subcontract. If you have to bring someone into your company or partner with another company in order to fulfill a contract, you are honor bound to let us know that. Because everyone that comes into or works the Super Bowl event most likely will have to be credentialed. They will get security background checks. We need to make sure that anyone who is on property at a Super Bowl event, that we know who you are, and that the goods and services we're buying from you belong to your company, not some other company that you brought in to make your company look bigger or better.
Jay, for explaining that. And I have more questions surrounding the categories. In regards to printing and office supplies, what is usually needed there?
I have an example from, well, I have an example from one printing company that we utilized in Atlanta. Super Bowl week, she was actually asked to produce the locker signs for the teams, the NFL teams. There's also decor that goes up around the stadium. There's banners that are posted. There are things that are actually placed on the stadium itself. So there's large scale printing, but then there's also smaller scale printing. It can be pamphlets that are needed, booklets that are needed for specific events. So it's a big range of printing needs. So it's not just one specific thing. And each vendor is different. Each vendor will have a different request.
And I thought I'd give you all a shout out. Someone here is saying you've all done a great job with your explanations and information you've provided. So thank you. They're asking here, are event coordinators needed?
Occasionally, but not often. Because of the size and scope of most of the Super Bowl events, the event producers they come with us from city to city, and they work with us, they grow events with us, they are with us long-term. We have seen occasions where someone is looking for an event producer to take one piece of an event so that so they subcontract that out, but we will not be looking for an awful lot of them. We won't accept many into the program. only because, again, we will not be able to get work from them, for them. And if we can't get work for you, then the program has less value.
Thank you, BJ. And I have someone asking a specific question in regards to their company. They've been registered since 2019, but only recently opened an office out in Santa Monica. What documentation do they need to show as proof that they're veteran owned?
That's in our FAQs, and I'm sorry I don't remember, but there is a designation, I believe it's a DA form. I can look it up, and certainly if that supplier would contact Chincie. Chincie, I think I sent that to you in some documents. It's an official designation that you have worked for the U.S. Armed Forces and have been honorably discharged. And that's what we need to see to make sure that you did offer your services to the country.
Thank you, BJ. And someone else is asking here, what if we are a certified LA small business, but not minority owned?
This program is designed to create opportunity for those communities that have had lesser opportunity. It does not mean that every local diverse business or every local business does not deserve an opportunity to participate. I would say if you fit all of our other criteria except diversity, shoot Chincie a note and let her know that you are available and what your services are. We can't guarantee that we would be able to push work in your direction, because our mission is always to make sure that women, minority, LGBTQ+, and veteran-owned businesses get the first shot. But if there's an opportunity, that we can't fill in the Business Connect program, we would prefer it to go to someone local, non-diverse, than come from outside of LA. So we'll be very, very selective about anyone we would keep on a tier 2 program. It would have to certainly be a service that we think, like, it's very hard for us to find local diverse golf cart companies. So if someone comes to us and says, I have a golf cart company, but I'm not a diverse company, we would put them on the tier 2 list so that we can keep that business in LA.
Thanks, BJ. And to ensure that there is no outsourcing, will you be requiring everyone or the businesses you work with to provide a list of their employees?
We don't ask for a list of your employees, but as we get into the process of awarding contracts, 99% of the people who are going to be working a Super Bowl event will have to be credentialed. And so we will know from the background checks exactly who everyone is and where they work and what their history is.
And will the program be done virtually?
Yes, until we are all able to work together, we will definitely meet virtually. And I can guarantee all of those suppliers, who are in LA, who are thinking, how is that going to work? We know it works because we've done it very, very successfully in Tampa. We are about 2.5 months away, under 100 days for sure, away from hosting Super Bowl in Tampa. And we have had probably 12 webinars with them. We meet with them once a month, whether it's for networking purposes or workshops where we share information about what we're learning that can help them be more successful. And I mean, we've started all kinds of new processes in Business Connect where we send direct marketing pieces that we produce from Business Connect to our vendors to make sure it's like, hey, did you guys know we had all of these PPE suppliers? Did you know we've got somebody who does drones? Did you know we have somebody who does this, that, or the other? you know, we will use every resource available to support the suppliers who are in our program and to promote their services to our vendors. And virtual, you know, that just means we can't hug you.
And we'll have to do air hugs or virtual hugs, right?
Yeah.
So this is all the time we really have for questions. I'll just go ahead and ask you one more question, which I think is important to ask, is about, you know, medical services like wheelchairs or anything like that. Do you have a need for that?
I would suggest that supplier reach out to Chincie and at least make themselves known. I know that most of the venues that we contract with for Super Bowl events, they have resources and services to make sure that they're compliant. But you never know. We could always need more. And we do have a staffer who loves to ride around on a scooter. So, you know, it is a business that we'd love to know more about, although it is not one that we officially are looking for.
You could list it under the PPE category. So you can apply that in that category.
Yeah. Good call.
And again, I'd like to thank everyone for joining us. Ladies, thank you so much for being here again to provide all of this great information. Unfortunately, that is all the time that we have for questions. Chincie has provided her contact information. And again, I'm going to share out the recording and the presentation. So if there's anything that you missed, you're going to go ahead and be receiving it sometime later today. And again, thank you. I can't thank you enough. Like I keep saying thank you, but that's because I can't thank you enough for being here. Everyone on the chat keeps saying thank you. This is great information. So on behalf of the LA Area Chamber of Commerce OneLA program, thank you for being here. Feel free to reach out to Chincie if you have any questions, and good luck everyone with this, you know, competitive business. Alrighty. Thanks everyone. That's all the time we have. Bye.
Thanks everybody. We look forward to meeting you.